Hello, everyone. Welcome here. Today, we're going to play some more Opus Magnum. Oh, let's see. Electric coil. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Well, there's a pretty strong subcomponent here. This shape right here. And it only has one bond to the next in the pair, or next in the chain. So that part will be relatively easy, chaining them together. Put that right there and that'll take care of that bonding. And then I'm sure we'll use a shuffler to feed it in. We have a fire for the top and a fire for the bottom. Let's move that over there somewhere so it's out of the way. And then we have a lead for the middle. Okay. The tricky bit, though, is actually that the salt is varying every other. So we need to assemble this shape with fire on top and bottom, and then every other one needs to be given a little treatment. So let's go ahead and make our lead bit of the shape first. Okay. That'll work. And then we just need to have a shuffler up here somewhere. All right. That'll work. Okay, let me think. I think we need a third shuffler arm. And that should get us a chain going. And then we just need to... Okay, before I actually weld this on, I probably want to shift them up and down to deal with that. But we'll work on that later. Okay, anyway, keep programming. So we grab, we rotate, we release, repeat. Okay, so that makes the lead core. And then at some point during this, arms 2 and 3 need to grab. Arm 3 rotates that way. Arm 2 is counter-rotating, I believe. And then we reset both of them. And then arms 4, 5, and 6 grab, advance, and reset. Okay, where in the sequence do we want to do this? Okay, so we want to do the first shuffle right there, I believe. And that lines up with it. Okay, we need to put a period lengthener on there for now. Okay, that shifts it ahead. And then we want to immediately shuffle it off again. I believe. Hello, Dread. Okay. Let me think. Okay, we do need a period lengthen to at least there, I think. Okay. So arms 2 and 3. Wait a second. They need to move after, I believe. Yeah, because we got to shuffle out of the way and then they can move. Or oops. We could reverse the direction. Yeah, there we go. Okay, see, that's making the right shape. But the problem is we don't have the salts in the right places. So, this glyph of bonding needs to go. And then we need one more arm, and I'm going to make it a... Okay. One more arm on the shuffler. And then we have to program this whole system to run twice. Because every other one varies, so we need to do every other one. And we need a glyph of calcification there. Actually, we can have these shufflers be shorter. That'll work. And we need a glyph of calcification. There, actually. I put it in exactly the right spot by accident. Okay. Arm 7. Has the same order as these have. Okay, period override comes off. We need a repeat right there, I believe. 2 of them. We'll have to adjust that some later. Actually, these got to go right there. Okay. And those got to go there, I believe. Okay, arm 7 is special. it can't have a repeat. So what it does, it extends and then grab plus retract. Okay, we have time to run that. I think we're going to need a period extension on this, but I'm going to see if I can avoid it. Okay. Yeah, we do need... Wait. Okay, why is arm 4 grabbing at that point? That might work. Okay, we need to be... Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, we assemble the first one. Boom. It's released. Oh, I see what the problem is. We need the 2-tick period extension on the end. Okay. Oh. Ooh. Okay, actually, wait. We can do that and that'll work. No, it won't work. Damn it. We're gonna have to rotate it. Okay. We have just enough time to make that work. I believe. Okay. That should do, I believe. And then this can go back one. At least. Oh wait, we can't use the reset sequence here. We have to manual reset. Okay. Because we have to reset some of it and then drop it. Because we're swinging out of position to do a thing. Also, I'm pretty sure we have an arm too many at this point. Okay, we're moving more than I had initially wanted to. Which means... Let me think. Okay. Arm 6 goes in the dumpster. That should still work. And then we need to have a shuffler on the other side. That continues the process. I think we actually want it there. We'll see here in a second. Okay. This actually goes there. Then arm 7. I should have actually grabbed arm 6 and moved down here as arm 7. Because it uses the exact same shuffler commands as all the other shufflers. Oh well, it's not hard to recreate. Okay, this needs to go forward one more. Because we need a clean break between... Oh, we're not going to be able to swing that up there because the... Ooh. Okay, actually I know how to solve this. It won't be too bad even. We do that. Okay. Let's see what this does. Let's go ahead and program number 8 first. Okay. Now. That'll do. All right, so 7 and 8 need slightly different timing than the rest of the grabbers. They need to be there. All right. I believe that'll work. We might need one more shuffler. But I don't know, we won't need one more shuffler. Oh, damn it, the exact same problem we had. Okay. This is an actually easy problem to solve. we shuffle 2 spaces instead of 1. Okay, and then 8 needs to be modified very slightly. I think that'll do it actually. Okay, we should be able to actually make the first part a little shorter too. Okay. No, we should actually not need arm 5, I believe. So if we replace arm 5 with arm 6, which is now arm 5, and move this whole assembly forward 1 tile, all right. That's not too bad. Okay, so arm 5 is the limiting factor here. If I made arm 4, let's grab a copy of this solution. And then I'm going to go ahead and move this all back 1. Extend the track by 1. Put arm 5 there. And then we're going to have arm 4 move an extra tile. Okay. Now, arm 5 does not need to be on this track anymore. Matter of fact, there's a solid argument for making it not be on that track now. Okay. So we remove the rotate instructions. So we grab, we do the extend retract or the retract extend, and then we move forward and then we drop. And that lets us place them here. And actually I think I want to move forward 2 before we drop. No, I don't want to move forward 2 before we drop because, I mean, I would really like to do that, but it's going to be a problem. So we're going to use arm 6 for that. And then we'll weld them there. Okay, wait. Arm 6, you move. Arm 6 needs to move together with Arm 5. Okay. Arm 5 needs to move. And then do the extend retract. It's still gonna collide. But there, okay. Okay, it's arm 4 that's colliding. So if we could shift arm 5 forward in time by 1 tick, I don't think that would hurt anything. Also, I don't believe we need arm 7 anymore, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. Okay, actually, arm 5 and 6 need to be the other way in time. By a little bit more than that, actually. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Now, will this work? Or will they weld too soon? Okay, the welder's in the wrong spot. That's what the problem is. Okay, that's welding correctly, I believe. Now, we have gained a little bit of time right here. So I believe we can grab all of this stuff and move it back 2 slots. Okay, except arm 1 and 4 are conflicting now. Let me think. Yeah, okay, these gotta be... They must have 2 spots of... Unless... I move all of these back 1. That might work. Ooh, it does work. Beautiful. Okay, so that tightens that timing a good bit. Now... yeah. Let's try removing that. There's no way it's going to work. No. Okay. That does work, though. I don't think we can possibly get any tighter times here. Okay. That should do. Look at that, it doesn't even stop to bind the fire ones on, it just grabs them as it goes by. Okay. That saved 16 cycles. And like 12 area. Plus a bit of money. Just straight up better across the board. Okay. I really like this little machine. I'm quite proud of it. Yeah, it's just straight up better in every possible way. Unstable compound. Okay. Well, that's a shape. Alrighty then. We're going to assemble this shape entirely out of fire. And then we're going to swing it in place. Oh, these aren't normal bonds either. We got to do these triple bonds. I didn't notice that at first. Okay, that's going to be fun. Alright. So let's do this in 3 stages. So we'll use a triple arm. We only have 2 reagents though. So we're gonna have to share one of these reagents between some of the stages. That's gonna be fun. Okay, yeah. I wonder what happens. Okay, so to get the triple bond, we need to... Alright, let's just see if we can do the triple bond center without too much trouble. Let's start from there. No, let's start from here. So we'll grab from there, and then we'll rotate to here. And then from here, we're going to be affixing bonds. All right. Stage 1. We grab, we rotate, we release, we grab. Now we're holding it over top of this. And then arm 2, you grab and rotate and release. We're going to need 3 of these eventually. Alright. Now. After the first piece is in place, we rotate it once. And that gets both of those bonds on. Okay. Then the next stage we could do that with a piston arm. Okay, anyway, let's find out if it's going to work for the... Okay. So we want to rotate twice, and then we do this little sequence, and then we rotate twice. And then we do that little sequence again, and then we rotate twice. Okay, and then we swing. And then we rotate it through the whole sequence again. Okay, that's got to be there. And then we need to rotate this the other way. Ooh, those don't work. Really? Okay. So that gets the triplex bond. However, then we have 2 more stages to go. So at this point we need to weld the salts into the middle. So what I'm going to do is bring this over here, because we're going to need it over here for the next section. And then okay. Arm 3. You grab rotate twice and drop. And that gives us our first piece to get the process started. Okay. However, we then need to repeat the process again immediately. Okay. Okay, you need to go there. And then you need to go there. All right. Now. So we grab, we rotate. Then we do this whole rigmarole. And then we release, we grab. Okay, please explain in small words. Let's put that over there for now, so it doesn't do the dumb. Alright. So after it bonds that... Actually, wait, what are we doing? I'm screwing this up. I know better than that. Because we want to program the stages collectively. Yeah. We need to add some more time. Oh, wait. I do need to have... We cannot have this be a 6-armed. We don't have the room. So I need to program this to run every other, which means these need to be programmed to run every. Okay, that's annoying. Release, grab, swing, 3 spaces, rotate, rotate, 3 spaces. Okay. Rotate, rotate. And then release. So you have 2 cycles programmed here. And then this sequence. This sequence actually doesn't run at all. Arm 2 does not run. Because each station only runs every other cycle. Yeah. Okay. Now. That's really annoying. All right, arm 4. Okay. So arm 4 grabs, and then we swing hard for the fences, so to speak. We're going to have to move that a little earlier, I think. And I don't know if we're going to be able to fit that sequence. Okay, these got to go out here. Okay, this needs to go just a little bit farther out. It probably needs to go a lot farther out, because it needs to wait until the first rotation cycle. Actually, only like 1, maybe 2 more out. Okay. Now, I need to reduce that length any way I can. And this still might not work. Let's find out. We might need to increase the timings on the other stages just to let this stage still work. Okay, this has got to go at least 1 more tile out. No, it's got to come tiles back instead. I see. I think I might need just leave a space in there. Like that. Okay. That's a problem. And I think I know how to fix it. Alrighty. Let's try that. Okay, that works. That works. All right. Okay, now we just need to weld the last piece on to the outside. This is going to be really annoying. And probably difficult. Because we just don't have enough atoms for this. We can't swing through there because of this stupid thing in the way. We could swing all the way out around, but I don't think I have enough time for that. But maybe I do, so we're gonna try. So this is gonna have to swing 5 times. Okay. We might have to use a double-ended arm for this. Well, let's try it with a single-ended one for now. Okay. It is 1 tick too late. And I don't think this is going to work because it's going to grab too soon. And then we're going to conflict. Yeah, okay. We can do that. That might work. Okay. This arm has got to arrive a tick later. Actually, probably more than a tick later. No, actually it's got to arrive a couple ticks earlier. It has to arrive before... It's got to arrive right now. And as you can see, it is one tick too slow. So if I go ahead and pull this back by 1, is that enough to get it to where it needs to go in time without conflicting with anything? We're probably going to have to use a double-ended arm to get enough throughput. Yes, okay, that does get it to right where it needs to go in time. Alright, no. Yeah, there's no way this doesn't work without a double-ended arm. So... Boom. Think that might work. No, it's not going to work. We need to pull earlier, but we can at least experiment. Yeah, okay. So this has got to be a little earlier. A lot earlier. Okay. So we need to arrive need to pay closer attention for a second there. I don't think the double-ended arm approach is going to work. It needs to arrive right there. So at the point arm 4 is releasing, it needs to arrive. Which means it needs to go 2 spaces farther that way. And the problem is that's going to conflict, I think, over the fire bit there. Yep. Those are both trying to grab at the same moment. Well, they both grabbed at the same moment. They're both trying to swing at the same moment. Yeah, so double arm isn't going to work. Okay. So we retract twice. We swing once. We extend twice. And then we reset. Okay. I'm not sure if that's quite fast enough, though. I don't think it is. So we might have to use something a little faster. Yeah, that is one tick too slow. Damn it. Let's watch this cycle again. I need to know if I can time shift it forward enough to make it work. No, we're already arriving early. So I need to cut the time on this by like 2 ticks. I don't think it's going to save us, though. We grab. We retract. We swing. And then we reset. No, it's exactly the same time. Okay. But I think that's going to be exactly the same time as well. Unless... we could relay race it. Okay. So 6 grabs. Swings. Releases. 7 grabs. Swings. Releases. Actually, don't release. Reset. Alright, let's try this. Because we can get a little bit more parallelism going by using 2 arms, I believe. Okay. Yeah, I think that parallelism is going to make enough of a difference. Okay. Arm 5. You need to go there. I think. This machine has such a long startup time. Okay. We're moving too fast. We need more delay, which is a nice change of pace. Okay, we need to drop it off there. One past the end of the current setup. So... there, maybe? That's gonna conflict, I'm pretty sure. In a different, exciting way, then. So basically, I need to have Arm 5 move earlier. Yeah. Arm 5 has got to move earlier in both sequences. Okay. I think I need to program Arm 4 a little more. I think it's one sequence too few. Well, maybe not. Okay, Arm 4 and Arm 5 are conflicting. Yay! This needs to go one more there. Does that get us what we need? I don't think so. I need to adjust the timings on these a little more. Okay, Arm 6 needs to be arriving right there. So Arm 6 has actually got to go forward a bunch. Almost to there, I think. Okay. The first Arm 6 arrival is just a little bit too early, or a little too late, actually. So it's got to be there, maybe? Okay, it's got to arrive one tick later. Okay. Let's see how that functions. Boom. Okay, arm 6. Needs to arrive a lot earlier. So we've got way too much timing between it right now. Okay, that arrival is timed correctly. It needs to be arriving right there. So, you we need to release exactly at the same time here. And the release instruction is this one right here, I believe. So I think it has to go one tick earlier. Like that. Okay, but then we have to move the arm 5 movements to sync, or the arm 6 movements to sync up the arm 5 to move up, sync up with the arm 6. Yeah, so the arm 5 needs to be a lot faster. Like that, maybe? I think that's the right timings. So even though we don't technically need to, I want the timings to all be as tight as possible, because that makes it more obvious where I can maybe possibly... Really? That is the right shape though. I want the times to be as tight as possible, so that gives me more idea of what my bottlenecks are and how I can adjust them. Okay. What if... we move that? That's gonna absolutely break horribly. Although maybe it won't. Really? Of course that would do that. see, that's arm 6. Maybe we can get rid of it one cycle earlier. Okay. I don't think this is gonna matter. Actually, I think it will matter. No, I don't think it will. Okay, it won't matter. Alright, this puzzle, kind of a pain in the butt. Reasonably fast. Rather expensive, though. And fairly large area. I could probably do way better with a completely different approach, but also, no. Curious lipstick. Okay. The glyph of disposal removes unneeded atoms from the board. Where disposed atoms go is poorly understood, a matter of some debate among theorists. Oh, fun. Look at this lovely shape. And then we get 2 salts to make that with. Alright, so we need this thing. We need this thing. Okay, so we have to make all of our cardinal elements. Thankfully, that shouldn't be too hard. We only need 2 of them. Okay. That'll get rid of all of the I think it's cheaper to use a track. Yeah. Arms seem to cost the same no matter how long they are. Okay. So this gets us our dark atoms. Okay, assembling... I don't remember what I did to assemble a circle like this the last time I needed to. There was something special that I did to make a ring, and I don't remember what it was. We'll have to assemble this bullshit. Ugh, these are kind of similar beans too. Definitely not looking forward to assembling this half. The other half is the easy one, honestly. So we could assemble a ring very easily. Around a center spine, but then we can't move the ring away. So we're gonna have to do something along the lines of grab, move to Alright, let's try this. So, step one. Let's get this out of the way so I don't have to think about it. Arm 1. You should probably actually be arm 3, just saying. Okay, arm 1. You grab. You advance twice, and then you reset, then you grab, you advance once, and then you reset. And that'll get us a dark. At that point, arm 3, which I actually have changed my mind, I want that to be arm 2, you will grab, you will swing once, and you'll reset. Alright, let's test this. Okay. Now, arm 3. You, at the same time as arm 2 is moving, you will grab, you will swing, you will advance once, and you'll reset, and then you will grab, you will swing, and then you'll rotate that way, and to reset. Okay, in the meantime, you will repeat, and you will repeat, and you will go over there. Okay, let's try this. Okay, this segment you'll rotate, you'll advance, and then reset. Okay. Weird. What was going on there that would make that? Not sync. Oh, arm 2 is moving at the wrong time. That's what. Okay, these need to be identical, actually. Yeah, there we go. This is going to collide, though. Yep, see? So we need to actually make this one longer. And I think we do like that. One longer might not be enough, but I guess we'll find out in a second. And I believe we need to move and then rotate. Well, maybe not. Yeah, we do. Okay. And that should get us our ring. The problem is our whole instruction sequence is repeating multiple times to get this. Okay, there's our ring. So we need to add a whole bunch of repeat instructions onto this to assemble that whole ring. Thankfully, it's just repeat instructions, which makes it easy. All right. I think we can compact this a bunch. Guess I'll find out I'm wrong here in a second. No? It does appear like we can. Okay, that's nice. Alright, this whole sequence is like half of it. Maybe. This is going to be a very slow machine. We haven't even gotten started producing the other half of it yet. Okay. Let's go ahead and put stoppers on there. And then let's run the machine one cycle and see if it produces a full circle. And that'll tell us that we have the arms programmed correctly if it does. Yep. Okay. So the first 3 arms are fully programmed. And we're making the ring. Now we have to make this monstrosity, which is actually much more complicated. We have to assemble... We want to assemble 3 arcs, or 2 arcs. We want to do one of fire and one of earth. And we can use exactly the same machine to build both of them. Okay, so 5, we grab, we rotate, we release, and then we want to repeat that twice. Okay, grab, rotate, release. Actually, we want to repeat that twice. And then we grab, we rotate twice. Okay. Boom. And then we release. And I'm going to remove this repeat instruction because I want to use the repeat instruction to repeat the whole sequence. Okay. And then I think I want a shuffler here. And I think I need to have a shuffler that is on a piston arm. Move this monstrosity down a little bit for now. Okay. Now, arm 6, we want to grab, want to move away and retract. Like that. And actually this needs to be fire first. So instead of you, we grab that. Okay. And then at this point, We grab. We advance. We release. Okay, that actually went together way easier than I thought it was going to. So now we have this horrible monstrosity pre-assembled. And we just need to weld it to that. Which would just grab this, swing it into position somewhere, grab this, swing it into position somewhere, boom, weld, we're done. So, let's run this a bit longer until we have a full ring in position. And then when I stop, I can see where the atoms were. So I think what I'm going to want to do Okay. Arm 7. When arm 3 is done, arm 7 should grab and then rotate. And I want that there purely so I can see the result. Okay, so that would be the perfect position for welding if it wasn't for the fact that we already had a welder sitting there and we can't weld it, unless we could do this. That would work, I believe. Yeah, and then when the ring's done, we can swing that down in. Okay, now the problem is we can't get this out of the way. It's just stuck there. So 7 needs to be on a track. That does not do that. Okay, so once it swings into position, then we just immediately need to start retreating. I kind of wish I could set breakpoints. Basically say run to this point and then stop. Okay, so right there, we need to swing. Look how close that is to ramming into everything. Okay. Now. That should get us the salts we want. Alright, I think this will work. We're definitely not going to win any prizes for area. Damn it. Yeah, it drags it across this. Okay. I think I know what I need to do. Okay. That should work. That does not work. Okay, we're gonna have to put a little dog leg in the track for 7. I think. Okay. And then instead of going straight up, okay, let's see. We go up to here, then we swing, and then we go there. I don't think the ending piece is in position properly yet, but guess we'll find out in a second how off it is. Okay, boom. Okay, that is exactly what I don't want to do. That's probably about right, though. There we go, finally. Alright. So, assembling the Ring of Darkness, or whatever you want to call it, is very slow. So I really need to figure out a way to make Arm 1 faster. Because the method we chose is definitely simple, but also Arm 1 is by a mile the bottleneck. Arm 3 actually is almost as bottleneck as well. It's 1 tick faster than Arm 1. So even if I made arm 1 a little faster, I don't think it would be that big of a difference. And I could definitely make arm 1 faster. I would need to reposition some elements a little bit. I think I can make arm 1 faster anyway. So if I took arm 1, reduced its length by 1, okay, so we grab, we advance, we swing. And then we grab, we swing. No, it's exactly the same timing. Damn it. Actually, I wonder if I could make it a little faster. We grab, we swing, we drop. Then we grab, we retreat, we swing, we drop. Nope, that's still exactly the same exact timing. It looks like it should be more efficient, but also we can't do that even if I want to. Damn it. Unless I used 2 arms. Okay, arm 8, you are promoted to be arm 2. Okay, that is much faster. So let's go ahead and program that in. Now the limiting factor is definitely going to be what is now arm 4. So, arm 4, grab, rotate, advance, advance, twist. We can probably put a second arm on there. Arm 9, you are now arm 5. Grab. Advance. Twist. Okay, we got a partial shuffle. And then think. Oh wait, I'm screwing with arm 3. That doesn't need to be screwed with. Wait, aren't you? Oh, okay, I see what the problem is. I didn't put the repeat in. Okay. Now. Okay. We need to not do the rotation there. We need a third shuffler arm. 10, you are now arm 6. Oh, I see. These all have to move in sequence. Okay. I mean, they don't all have to move exactly in sequence, but it's much better if they do. And you have to let go. And then return. And you have to let go. And then return. And you have to let go and then return. Okay, I'm going to do manual resets on those. That way I can control exactly when they do what. Of course, it would help if I had put enough repeats in, but why would I do that? I think we're getting close to a much faster design, though. I've got a lot of empty space that I can pair out of this. Okay. Actually, you know what? I think it's arm 6 that gotta do the rotation. No, it isn't. Well, yes it is. Yeah, there we go. This will be much more... There we go. That's much better. Okay, why is arm 1 conflicting arm 3? I need to look at the actual where we are in the timeline when it blows up. I see. Okay, arm 3 needs to be adjusted. To be a little faster. Actually, we just straight up need to adjust all of these to be faster. Okay. There. Nope. Okay. Okay, why is arm 1 moving, quote, early, end quote? Okay, cycle finishes. Boom, everything else runs. Okay. Oh, I see what the problem is. Yeah, okay. It's... I need to add a couple more ticks of delay. All right. Okay. 10 is trying to grab and move it too early. Okay, the problem here is that we have too much startup delay now. This shuffler is too long. So I think we need to get rid of arm 5. And possibly more than that even. The alternative is to delay literally everything. By a whole nother cycle. Why are those so far apart? That's not right. That might have been what some of our problem was. Okay, let's try that then. Oh, of course. I really wish I could make this window larger. I don't think there is a way. No, just to suck it up. Thought I removed that. Okay. Apparently these were actually one tile that way farther. Okay, we can compact this quite a bit, I think. These can all go equal with that. So back 2 spaces, I believe. Let's just confirm. No. Why not? Because the things don't even appear at that point. We could do it there, though. Okay. So they can be even with the end. So these can go back 1 space. Now... let's try that. Okay, that actually looks like it works. Well, that's some pretty massive compaction. All right. That's so much faster. Now, Arm 10. I want you to actually be Arm 7. Boom. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to have Arm 7 do part of the sequencing here. So if we get rid of Arm 5, just stick it over there out of the way. And then Arm 4 grabs and rotates. That moves things ahead one more. Okay. Arm 5, I'm getting rid of you. Okay. The new Arm 5. Oh. Yeah, that's not gonna work. We would have to free up some serious space there. Unless we use Arm 6 as part of the shuffler. Okay, wait a second here. Yeah, no, that's not actually what I want to do. All right. We'll leave arm 6 alone for now. Okay. So the problem here with the shuffler, we have too many atoms in flight, and that's creating a problem. So what we need to do I think I need to add some delay. So you're the new arm 6. Okay. And then I believe I need to move arm 7 farther down the line. Some amount. Arm 8, 9, and 10. They should also probably go down the line some. Okay, who's conflicting? How did this work again? Like that. And I believe we moved and then rotated. But I thought I tried that already. So actually what I need to do is I need to move 6 and then I need to move the others. Yeah, there we go. Okay, except that last little problem right there. If I can delay the others by one more lousy tick, which I don't think I can, unless I move 6 one tick forward across the board. But I think that's not going to work. No. So the only way to make that work is if I make the delays on everything one tick longer, which we can do. Okay. I think it's about right. Now, that could work. Yeah, arm 7's gonna need to be perfectly timed, which means it needs to be just a little tiny bit later. 2 ticks later, maybe? Okay, it needs to be 2 ticks later than it is already. One more tick later. Also, okay. Let's try this again. Okay, 7 should grab right now, which indeed it has. And then it needs to move and then swing, I think. Let's find out how badly this ends up working. Okay, now I think the timing might be just a little too tight for this to actually work. Okay. Boom, it rotates. 7 should have grabbed at this point. But I don't think it actually did because it was moving while 7 was trying to grab. So... let's see. Let's try that actually. Yeah. I could introduce one more ticket delay. Or think. I think what I need to do is I need to grab it and get it out of there before it's welded completely. So right about here I need to grab it. Okay, what is 6 doing at that point? 6 has already let go and is ready to leave, basically. So, boom, 7, grab it right there. And then we'll need to go weld it elsewhere. Yep. Okay. Now. Let's see what this does. I think we're going to have to pull it back farther. Yeah. Okay. Let's try this. Okay, and then yeah, it's almost 11 o'clock already. Alright, 10 is not syncing up properly for some reason. Probably because it's supposed to be after 9 does its thing, not before. There we go. Okay. Let's do that. And then Yeah, we need another welder. I think it goes there. Yep. Alright, we just need to reassemble the programming for ARM 7, I think, and we're done. Because the problem is ARM 7 is conflicting with the shuffler, the way it was programmed. So it's got to be reprogrammed to not conflict. Okay, that is not the correct weld. Yeah. I believe we can fix it though, if we just grab all of this stuff and move it down one. Yeah. It's not going to do anything for our area score, but we're after speed. Not that we're going to get a blazing fast speed score anyway. Okay. So at this point, we retreat and rotate and hope that gets out of the way of the shuffler in time. If it doesn't, we're going to have to make some modifications until it does. Okay, I think I might be able to swing instead of retreat. If that doesn't work, then I'll be sad. Okay, that does work. Now we have to take care of calcifying the right things. Okay, is that actually going to just be correct by itself? I think I'm going to have to move the dog leg on the... Yeah. Okay, let's see how badly that breaks things. It kind of doesn't. Okay. That may just work right there. Or the track could be one tile too short. I'm not entirely sure. No, it looks good. Hell yeah. Let's go. All right. That significantly improved our cycle time. Previous best was 376, and that was 245. Cost is significantly higher, though. And area is a little bit better. Or a little bit worse, I mean. But anyway. We significantly improved the cycles, and that's what matters. Also, this thing is probably a little bit overcomplicated, and we could probably improve particularly the movement of Arm 7 by moving the... instead of using a track, we could put the bit that assembles the elemental section above the bit that assembles the dark ring, and then swing the dark ring upward. We could probably get rid of the track on Arm 7 almost completely. We would still need some track, probably. But it would simplify it a good bit. I'm pretty sure. Basically, take all this, flip it around so it's facing downward, and then do the assembly right here. And dump it off over here somewhere, probably. However, we're not going to do that. Because it is 11:04. Universal solvent. Well, I believe we'll do that one next week. Tomorrow is Thursday already. So that means we'll play some Zoo Tycoon 1. I was rather sad that I didn't get to play any of that last week, thanks to the computer adventures. Well, there goes the shrimp light. Anyway. So, yeah. Zoo Tycoon 1 tomorrow. Then, Friday, of course, will be some EDF. And Saturday and Sunday will be Timberborn. We have to see if we can finish up a few things in Timberborn and start doing serious work on improving our little crater. Now that we've got bots and stuff, and our industry is finally coming together. Oh. But anyway. Monday, of course, will then be Crab Champions. And next Tuesday and probably Wednesday will be more Opus Magnum. For tonight, though, it looks like Avi's playing MechWarrior and Knobs is playing more of that weird Skyrim multiplayer bullshit thing. Let's rate Knobs. He's more interesting than Avi. Sorry, Avi. Hopefully, I see you all back here tomorrow for some good old zoo shenaniganry. And I will see you all later. Good night. And goodbye.